going on? My name is ADC Art Attack. Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a drawing tutorial on how to draw KEFLA. Now, I'm going to be doing this tutorial a little bit different from my usual one. It's going to be a little bit more technical because I know some people do like that style. I, for one, don't like it. I like to draw freestyle quite a lot. But I'm going to give a bit more structure here for the sake of the tutorial. And yeah, hopefully it can help you guys out. I want to bring a little bit of variety. I'm going to try and keep it under 10 minutes. I'm going to go as fast as I can while keeping it a tutorial kind of setting. So yeah, let's get on with this. So I'm going to break it down, all of the steps. I just need to get my ruler. Sorry about this. Yeah, so I'm going to break it down into all of the steps, really, and hopefully help you guys out. Now, I'm not going to use the ruler, actually, because I want this to be freehand as much as possible. So, this is going to be fun. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to start by drawing a sort of square. Alright, now I'm freehanding this because this is the way I want to draw. This is the way I think you should learn to draw. I don't believe that you need to be using rulers for drawing things like this. You don't need to know the exact measurements. This is the best way to really learn, is just to be free with it. So just draw a sort of square with these two sides longer than this side, and we're going to cut it in half, and then we're going to sort of divide that, and we find our center point just over here. Now let's make note of some key areas that we need. So we're going to need to work out the sort of equal distances just either side of there. Now we're also, in fact, I need to zoom in a little bit so you guys can get a bit of a nice look to this. Look at that, it's nice. It's a bit small, I know. I'm going to try and keep this one small because I don't have much ink in my pens. So when it comes to coloring, I don't want to use too much. But yeah, so let's mark off some key areas, I guess. Now this area down here is going to be the chin just over here. And we need to make note of these crossover points just here. So what I'm going to do is come up here and start differently to my usual ones. I'm going to start by doing the hair. So we want a slight distance between these 2 points here. And we're going to do one going off that way and one going off this way. So you get this sort of weird little shape like that. Now once you come up to this point here, we're going to bring this around and we're going to pass just above this crossover point here. So we're slightly higher than it and we're going to curve around. And we'll come down to about this distance just down here. Now this one over there is going to pretty much follow the same distance, just passing, you know, just by the corner. You can go across the corner if you want. In fact, let's go across the corner, go on. Just to keep it a pretty easy tutorial to follow. So we're going to go just across the corner, and just as we get to this point just there, we're going to start to curve it round. And there you go. So we've got one hair strand. Now on this side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to curve around, and this one's going to cut across this point here. So this one's slightly above, this one's cutting across. Now when it cuts across, we're going to come down here, and then we're going to start to arch it around. Bring it down, and we're not going to bring it down too crazy low. That looks okay, just about there. It can go lower if you want it to, but whatever. And all we're going to do is bring a nice little sort of point to there. Once we get to this point, we're going to come up here, and we're going to come just on the inside, just on the outside of this. You can cross over that point if you want. I'm going to go just on the outside of it because I don't want it pretty much. Yeah, I don't want it the same thing, just to complicate things. I'm going on the outside of this point, okay? So there's the point there, slightly outside. This point, we're cutting across it there. Okay, now coming over here, we need to figure out the angle that we're going to be on our head. Now, her head is tilted a little bit in my reference that I'll be using. Her head is, we sort of got this kind of tilt action going on like that. Okay, so we can sort of, from there, we can figure out, well, the hair's, yeah, the hairline's going to go off in that direction, like that. So I'm just going to sort of do a few points, again, following this line here, the direction that that goes in. And the same with this one, it follows that direction, it comes there. There you go, we've got one of the hair strands over here. It follows this hair strand, so we're just going to come up to the top one there. We're going to curve it around, go there, and then they're like that. So now we've got two hair strands. They're looking nice, aren't they? They're very nice hair strands. I like the hair strands. So what we're going to do, that was the weirdest thing I think I've ever done. Ignore that. Yeah, so give it a little bit of thing. Again, remembering this sort of crossover. So we've got a nice little sort of cross thing going on here. It looks quite natural. This is the hairline, so we can sort of map that out. There's a hairline for you guys. Okay, so moving over here, we know that this point over here is where our cheek is going to meet this point here. So we can start to sort of work out a few little details here. Following, again, the structure of the face. Once we get to this point, we're going to go up here. And once we get to where this point is there, we're going to give it a nice natural curve. And that circle is just going to go around this distance here between that. So we're just going to give it a nice rough sort of circle. That's going to give us, in fact, let me move down a little bit. That's going to give us the top of the head just around here. So the top of the head falls around this area there. So I'm going to keep it rough just for the sake of this, and then I'll ink it up later and we'll make it a little bit better. I'm going to keep this in pencil as well. I'm not going to color this, so I will probably ink it, but then I'll shade in pencil. I'm not going to do any coloring for this one. I want to keep it nice and basic. I want to keep it as a tutorial for the drawing. That's the point of this one. So when we do our face, what we want to do is we bring this down slightly below here, and imagine that this is our halfway line here, which we will need to know at some point anyway. So just mark off your halfway point between this point and this point here. So there's our halfway point. So you want to be sort of halfway between the halfway point. So there's your 2 points here. Sort of here is where we start to curve round, and we get to this point just down here. Then we're going to come across, and same thing, we're going to go over here. Once we get to this halfway point here, we can start to curve it upwards. Now the reason we do it at a different point here is because the head's tilted, so it's slightly at an angle. Now coming back to this point over here, this point just down there is going to give us our lower part for the nose. And again, I'm just going to go slightly off center here. Now I can go over to this point here, but I don't want to give it too much. I don't want to give our face too much of a bend, and I did sort of over exaggerate this curve, to be honest. So I'm not going to go right up to that point there. I'm going to go to about here just before it and give myself the little nose just in there. Okay, now I can actually, you know what, actually, I think it looks better if we follow that line. You know what, let's do that. Let's follow that line. We're going to do it. We're going to come off center. We're going to make our center line around here because fun. Okay, so just over here is going to be our new center line. And again, this isn't really going to mess up the references, so you guys can just still follow this as it has been. It's still sort of the same thing. We're just slightly shifting over the face area. So that looks a bit better, actually, having the nose there. With the nose there, we're going to put our mouth in. Now, the mouth is very, very close to the nose. So we're just going to do it sort of there. And don't forget about this little bit where the lower lip would be just there. Now, when we come up to do the eyebrows, now, as we've changed it, we're going to have to change. I'm going to have to change my planning for this. Yay! But let's figure out where the eyes are going to be, actually. Because the eyes are going to give us... We know that the center line here is going to give us our top of our eye for one of them. And again, following the structure of the face, once we get to this center point that we've made, our new center point just over here. Once we get there, we're going to sort of follow the structure of the face again into this curve line. So it's going to go... something like this will be the eyes. So the eyes are going to fall in these gaps in there. Okay, so I know it's a bit complicated, but I hope you got the gist of that. So with one of the eyes, we sort of know it's going to come up to the corner of the mouth there like that. This one goes up to the corner of the eye. It's on a slight sharper angle to this cheek. The female characters seem to do this over the male characters. The male characters tend to follow the cheek line. The female ones seem to come in a little bit steeper. Same's going to happen over here. So we figure out a good distance that we want. So something like that, and it stops right where that crossover point is between these two lines there. So this crossover point right there is where the corner of the eye goes. Now this one goes up here, meets up with that line up there, and then you just sort of mark off the eye. So the eye falls in this gap over there. Now over here we'll do the same thing over there, and there you have it. Now we can adjust the eyes if we need to, given that we do have eyelashes, so we can sort of line them up there, depending on your specific reference, but I'm guessing you're going to be following me. Yay! So yeah, we're going to keep it something like this. I think that looks about right. And with the eyes sort of starts on this corner here, goes around, curve it all the way around, make one big nice circle. Again, over here, we're going to bring a nice big circle around there, trying to make it look somewhat accurate. There you go. Now, it will look better once I ink it, but for now, this is the sort of thing that we're doing. Yay. The eyebrow falls on this center line just over here. Now, the eyebrow's a bit funny. The eyebrow here is going to go just past the eye, and we're going to drift up over here, come up to this point there. We don't want to go too crazy with them, but we keep them thin at the end. So you don't want to give them too, you don't want to go too thick on the eyebrows. Over here, same thing. We'll come down there and we'll go up here. And yeah, just keep it kind of thin. Remember with this eye over here on this angle, I'm sort of arching it towards the eye. So it's sort of going on an upside down arch rather than going, an example, rather than going like this, it's going like this. As you can see there, it's sort of going underneath. So there's that. So let me just shade these in so we know that we've got our eyes. There they are. Okay, so moving on to the ears. Now, the ear is going to fall in line with this part of the nose just there. So we're just going to sort of cut around here and go up there. There's one of the ears. Over here, this one, sort of the base of the eye, just about here, and go up there. There's another one of the ears. With the neck, we're going to fold the neck just sort of in line with the mouth. So around there looks about good. And I'm just going to bring it down slightly below this point here. And on this side over here, we'll sort of go about that distance, sort of just where the eye links up with the bottom of there. And we're just going to bring it down. Now that can go down as low as you want, really. We'll figure that out soon. The shadows as well, when you want to mark off the shadows, guys, we're just going to sort of like figure out this is where the cheeks will go here. And the other sort of shadow for the forehead goes there. Up here it goes here, and over here it goes there. So there's some of the shadows. We'll get into those in a future video, but for now this is the focus is this, obviously. Now I've gone a little bit over 10 minutes here, and I'm sorry about that, but I hope that this tutorial is sort of helping you. I'm trying to be as quick as I can, and I want these tutorials to be sort of as fast as possible, but all in real time. I don't want them to be fake. I don't want to sort of fast forward, edit, fix things, this, that. You know, I want it to be in real time in a quick and sort of draw with me manner, so you can see how I draw and the process. So they're not going to be perfect. I'm not going to perfect things. I'm just trying to draw as fast as I can and give you guys a nice sort of instructional guide as we do it. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up soon. But what I'm doing here, I'm just going to work out where the neck and everything goes. Now, a good little way of doing this is, you see this square that we've got right here? I could just come down, say about this distance, this very low distance just there, and from here I could draw a line across to this point. So I got these 2 points here, and then just basically sort of mimic that square there. So I just mimic this square in here, and that's going to give me that shoulder area for KEFLA. So I can just sort of in here have like a little circle structure which you can't even see. Let me zoom out a little bit because I'm a bit crazy here. So yeah, I can just sort of do a little circle in here, and when it goes over there, I know that in this area here is where the sort of shoulder will go. So it will come here, it will line up with this line. Once it gets here, it will start to curve back inwards like that. And yeah, so I'm just working backwards here just to show you that this system does work. If I just start to draw in a bit of the clothing, as you can see, literally I wouldn't draw backwards like this usually, but I'm drawing backwards just so you can see that the system does work when I do it that way. So there's one of the shoulders, and obviously because she's a female, she has quite slender shoulders, but you can broaden them if you want, depending on also the form that you're choosing. If you're choosing like a berserker mode, Kale, you can do big bulky arms and whatever have you. So yeah, moving back onto this neck over here, again there's nothing really to instruct you on this bit, so I reckon I can wrap up the tutorial, and I will start inking it and getting on with some other things, I guess. So yeah guys, I hope it helped you out. Anyway, it's a very quick basic thing, but I'm going to get on with doing the rest of the drawing now in speed drawing, and hopefully you'll enjoy it by the end. Hopefully it'll look good and you will like it. So if you did like it, and if you'd like to see more tutorials in this kind of style, let me know. But obviously I didn't get much done here. I'm not feeling too great, so yeah, I didn't really want to do a crazy big drawing. But yeah, let me know guys, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, take it easy guys, bye.